Horsetails is proudly brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. South Carolina, a true leader in the equine industry.
Folks, welcome back to the conclusion of the extreme photo shoot down here on Daufuskie Island. Folks, the locals have rolled out the red carpet. We've had a great time. Been dodging some weather. It rained this morning on us, and it cleared up, and we're getting some footage done. Like I say, it has been great. So folks, stay tuned for some exciting extreme photo action right here on Daufuskie Island.
Horsetails is being brought to you today by Williamsburg Feed and TACK, your Seminole feed and Carhartt clothing shop. By Equestrian Images, making memories together. By Myrtle Beach Equine, offering veterinarian services for a variety of animals. By the South Carolina Department of Agriculture, a leader in the equine industry. And by the Mark Horsemen Training Center, where helping people ride better horses is our #1 commitment.
When we walk into a grocery store or sit at a restaurant, we don't often think twice where our food comes from. So during this time of Thanksgiving, maybe we should give thanks to our South Carolina farmers from the coast to the mountains.
Hi, I'm South Carolina Commissioner of Agriculture Hugh Weathers. When you give thanks this holiday season, remember those who provide for all of us every day of the year. Be sure to thank South Carolina farmers.
Remember, South Carolina agriculture. It's a matter of taste.
The South Carolina Horsemen's Council is the voice of the Palmetto State's equine industry. The South Carolina Horsemen's Council primary purpose is to provide information to the general public, the media and government agencies about issues and activities that impact the South Carolina equine community. If you are a horse owner in the state of South Carolina, you need to be a member of the South Carolina Horsemen's Council so we can have a voice about equine issues in our state. For more information, go to schorsecouncil.org.
When you hear the name Earnhardt, you might not immediately think of farming. But my family's been at it for years, just like Nationwide Agribusiness. In fact, they're the #1 farm insurer in the nation. And with their On Your Side Farm Review, you get a personalized policy for your farm with the coverage you need at the right price for you. My family's trusted Nationwide for more than 30 years. To find out why, call your Nationwide Agribusiness agent today.
Did you know that the equine industry in South Carolina has an economic impact of nearly $3 billion annually? Hello, I'm Marcia Hewitt with the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. The economic impact of the horse industry is one of our state's best-kept secrets. Thousands of people are employed in different areas, from hands-on care to the production of horse supplies. Horses and the opportunity to ride various parts of our beautiful state, from the coast to the mountains. From trail riding to world-class horse racing, South Carolina is a leader in the equine industry.
The calendar of events is being brought to you by the South Carolina Horsemen's Council, the voice of the Palmetto State's equine industry. For more upcoming events, be sure to visit us online at horsetailstv.com.
Folks, join me now, David Campbell, alias Turbo. He's been around here a long time, folks, and we're going to get some great stories and great information from Turbo here. Turbo, you've been here since what, 85?
85. Come over here building the first 18 holes in Hague Point.
Seen a lot of changes on this island, hadn't you?
Yeah, there was a whole lot of changes.
Well, tell me what it was like, Turbo, when you come over here in 85.
Well, it was just dirt roads with 2 ruts down the middle, you know, and grass growing up in the middle of it. That's all it was. I mean, and a lot of them roads you couldn't get down even with some of the equipment we had, you know. It was so small, there, so, you know, there just wasn't nothing here.
And you come over as And you built the first golf course on the island, is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I worked with the crew that built the first golf course,
right.
yeah. And we cleared it and hauled all the dirt on it. That's pretty much what we done. Built a lot of roads in Hig Point and Melrose and Bloody Point, all the resorts over here.
Right, so you grew up in Hardyville and you moved here in '85, right?
Yeah, I've been here living here off and on since '85.
Right. And you work, just tell us some of the things you've done on the island as far as responsibilities and jobs you've done, people you work for.
Well, building roads and worked for run the concrete plant for 7 years over here. Until just recently when the economy fell out, that kind of went south. And now I work for the utility company part-time. And I got my own shop and do mechanic work and whatever. And
yeah, I heard somebody say if it breaks down, bring it to turbo, right?
yeah, that's pretty much. And I'm the only one, so it kind of gets hectic sometimes.
What, from '85 to now, just take us through some changes you've seen on the island.
Oh, I don't know. It seems like it happened so fast now looking back on it. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It used to be wild and free over here. And, you know, like, I remember Clarence bringing cows over here in a 15-foot Ashcraft. And that was a sight to see a full-grown cow in a 15-foot boat, you know, and bring them right over here. And that's how he got his cows back and forth on and off the island.
Well, we were talking earlier, a lot of folks had fences around the yard basically to keep the livestock out because they were free-ranging the cows.
That's right, yeah.
Were there any, you know, I'm here doing an extreme photo shoot with the Marsh Tackies. Were there any Marsh Tackies on the island when you come here?
When I come here, there wasn't, no.
Okay.
I don't know, Bud Bates, which lives right through the woods over there, used to. He had a horse or two, but I don't remember what kind he was exactly. I don't remember whether it was Marsh Tackies or not.
Just island horses?
Yeah.
Well, so you've been here since '85, so you have locals and residents. You was explaining that to me, so and newcomers. Explain that to me while you was talking a while ago. You're considered a resident now.
Yeah, I guess so now. It's better after doing my time over here, but it was originally all just natives over here. It was what we called it, you know, it's what they called itself, and because it was all, you know, been here all their life. And we was the first newcomers pretty much back in the '80s, you know, and it grew from there, and now it's probably a total population of about 300 or so, I guess, over here now. I'm not sure exactly how many, but.
So you've been here since '85. So in time-wise, are you one of the longest-running residents, a newcoming resident, if that's the right way to put it?
Pretty much so, yeah. That I can recall. Yeah, I don't. There's been a lot of characters come and gone since I've been here, but you know, it's
a lot of stories.
Lots of stories.
Well, what do you? Naturally, you're enchanting and you live here and you love it. Tell the folks what's so special about it? Why did you stay? You come in '85, so what made you stay?
It was just quiet. Nobody bothered you, and you had the whole place to yourself, and you know, it was freedom. You know, this is the last bit of freedom, pretty much. And it's changed over the years, not quite what it was, but it don't take you long when you go to Hilton Head to get your groceries. You're ready to come back home. You know, you got a pretty fast turnaround by the time you go over there to deal with the traffic and the people, and you're happy to get back.
Well, y'all kind of got teamwork. Everybody, you got a core group of people that look after each other. Somebody goes over one day and vice versa.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody checks with everybody pretty much. You know, they got their own little. Everybody that goes across checks with their own few people that they check with and can bring them back something or whatever. And you know, you got to keep your week or so. You know, at least I like to keep at least 2 weeks of food up. You know, so in case something happens and your boat breaks down or you just don't feel like going across or whatever. You know.
Well, this being a coastal island, what's the worst weather you've lived through here?
I really don't. The freak storms have been the worst, without no names to them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's been the worst thing. And like we got struck by lightning here last week and blew up all our TVs, and you know, and that's the first time I've been hit by lightning the whole time I've been on the island. But anyway, that was, you know, that happened it happened about a month ago now, I guess, come to think of it.
Because I was talking to Tony earlier, and he said, you know, you'd be sitting here and it'd be bright sunshine, and see a storm over there. Yeah. So the weather, y'all got you. It's unique. Got your own weather pattern over here.
You see the water spouts out there every now and then, and you know, it kind of makes you got to keep eye on them, make sure you know, take cover if something did happen. But so far we've been lucky.
Well, from being a resident, what do you see happening with Daufuskie? Just the same old, same old?
Pretty much so. There's been a lot of people, everybody comes here and says that they're going to change the world, but bring us into the In fact, my old boss man, when he first come down here from New Jersey, he said he's going to bring this island into the 21st century, but he's not the first person that said that, and I'm sure he won't be the last.
Is he still here or is he gone?
He's going back to New Jersey now. So,
Yeah.
you know, well, the economy fell out, and you know what I mean, it put a hurting on a lot of people over here, really.
Right.
Know? And over here, back there in the 80s and all, we lived through all kind of, recessions and different things, and it never really bothered anything. Everything's going in full swing, but it's, everything's slowed down and stopped now.
So you said you built some of the first roads in here, so basically, where did you come to when you come across them? What landing did you come to? Was there just one landing here? Or?
The first place we come to was Freeport, right there at Freeport, on the other side of Freeport actually. We come over here, and actually when we come off the bars, we had to clear bars, clear an area to, stage all our equipment and everything at the time. And it's been an interesting ride, the whole,
Well, like I say, this is my second time on the island. It won't be the last. And one thing, each time I leave and feel like I met your wife down here at the Marsh Tacky races, and we're friends. Come down here and getting to know you, and met several other people down here the past few days, and it's just, I'm enchanted with it. I'll be back. I don't think I'll ever be fortunate enough to be a resident.
That's the way it is. It's hard to, it's hard not to love it, fall in love with it when you come over here, really. I don't know. It got me when I first come here. The very first day I come here.
Hey folks, I'm Ashley Jones. We're here on Daufuskie Island with the PD Cowboy, and we have had a blast. Y'all stay tuned for more Horse Tales coming at you.
Horse Tales is being brought to you by Perfect Partners Equine, a unique and effective team approach to horse training. By Soulshine Horsewear. Visit them online for handmade saddles, saddle pads, blankets, and purses. By Pineview Enterprises for your horse trailers, cargo, and utility needs. Also check out their full line of golf carts and utility buildings. See Randall Jones for the best deals in the Southeast. By King Street Auction Company, buying and selling new and used equipment, tractors, and real estate. Call Alton Brown Jr. at 843-382-2121. By Paradise Farms in Aiken, South Carolina. Ride better through knowledge, not luck.
Did you know that the equine industry in South Carolina has an economic impact of nearly $3 billion annually? Hello, I'm Marcia Hewitt with the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. The economic impact of the horse industry is one of our state's best-kept secrets. Thousands of people are employed in different areas, from hands-on care to the production of horse supplies. Horses and the opportunity to ride various parts of our beautiful state, from the coast to the mountains. From trail riding to world-class horse racing, South Carolina is a leader in the equine industry.
There's nothing fresher, nothing finer than locally grown fruits and vegetables. They're tastier, sweeter, healthier, and most of us would agree they're better. That's why your South Carolina Department of Agriculture is working to make certified South Carolina-grown produce and products available in stores in your neighborhood. Ask for South Carolina. Nothing's fresher, nothing's finer.
The South Carolina Horsemen's Council is the voice of the Palmetto State's equine industry. The South Carolina Horsemen's Council primary purpose is to provide information to the general public, the media and government agency about issues and activities that impact the South Carolina equine community. If you are a horse owner in the state of South Carolina, you need to be a member of the South Carolina Horsemen's Council so we can have a voice about equine issues in our state. For more information, go to schorsecouncil.org.
When you hear the name Earnhardt, you might not immediately think of farming. But my family's been at it for years, just like Nationwide Agribusiness. In fact, they're the #1 farm insurer in the nation. And with their On Your Side Farm Review, you get a personalized policy for your farm with the coverage you need at the right price for you. My family's trusted Nationwide for more than 30 years. To find out why, call your Nationwide Agribusiness agent today.
Folks, join me now, my good friend Ken Chamberlain from Texas.
Yes, sir.
The Lone Star State.
Thank y'all for having me today.
Ken, I'm gonna see if I can measure up on this.
Okay.
I hear 15-inch seats, 16-inch seats. Well, put it to me how I can understand it. How do I fit myself properly?
Okay. There's a lot of different information out there about how to measure seat sizes. The measurement that I use, and this is what I was taught, it's pretty well the standard in the industry, is you want to measure from the base of your horn to the actual seat of your saddle. This actual area that you will actually be sitting in. A lot of folks want to pull it back here to this cantle binding where it starts, but that's actually not a true reading because you don't sit on the cantle binding. You sit in the seat. So you're going to give that measurement from the base of your horn to the actual usable seat. This being a 15.5-inch seat saddle. Another thing you need to look at is saddles can fit differently, where in a roping saddle you might require a 15-inch saddle. In a flatter seated saddle that doesn't have as much rise to the front, you can probably ride in a little shorter seat. Okay, so a lot of it's going to be just sitting in them, being comfortable. If somebody tells you you need a 15-inch seat, don't write it down and make it gospel, because it could change from saddle to saddle, but you're probably going to be in that range.
Gotcha.
Of a 15-inch seat.
Well, Ken, that's some good information. How can we get in touch with you?
Well, you can reach me at 830-581-9455, or you can reach me at cowboybasicsaddlery.com.
Well, Ken, you surely measured up on that one.
Well, as usual, it's a pleasure.
Horse Tales is being brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. When the PD Cowboy rides, he rides with Nationwide on his side. By ArborOne Farm Credit, providing rural America with sound, affordable loans and financial services. By Locals Restaurant, serving Florence with old-time goodness, from burgers and hot dogs to specialty sandwiches. By Best Way Grocery, located in Hemingway, South Carolina. See Jimmy Baxley for the best meat products in the PD. By Joey Lewis Performance Horses, teaching proper horse riding techniques from trail riding to rodeos.
The South Carolina Horsemen's Council is the voice of the Palmetto Estates equine industry. The South Carolina Horsemen's Council primary purpose is to provide information to the general public, the media and government agencies about issues and activities that impact the South Carolina equine community. If you are a horse owner in the state of South Carolina, you need to be a member of the South Carolina Horsemen's Council so we can have a voice about equine issues in our state. For more information, go to schorsecouncil.org.
When you hear the name Earnhardt, you might not immediately think of farming. But my family's been at it for years, just like Nationwide Agribusiness. In fact, they're the #1 farm insurer in the nation. And with their On Your Side Farm Review, you get a personalized policy for your farm with the coverage you need at the right price for you. My family's trusted Nationwide for more than 30 years. To find out why, call your Nationwide Agribusiness agent today.
Did you know that the equine industry in South Carolina has an economic impact of nearly $3 billion annually? Hello, I'm Marcia Hewitt with the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. The economic impact of the horse industry is one of our state's best-kept secrets. Thousands of people are employed in different areas, from hands-on care to the production of horse supplies. Horses and the opportunity to ride various parts of our beautiful state, from the coast to the mountains, from trail riding to world-class horse racing. South Carolina is a leader in the equine industry.
There's nothing fresher, nothing finer than locally grown fruits and vegetables. They're tastier, sweeter, healthier, and most of us would agree they're better. That's why your South Carolina Department of Agriculture is working to make certified South Carolina-grown produce and products available in stores in your neighborhood. Ask for South Carolina. Nothing's fresher, nothing's finer.
The calendar of events is being brought to you by the South Carolina Horsemen's Council, the voice of the Palmetto State's equine industry. For more upcoming events, be sure to visit us online at horsetalestv.com.
Folks, join me now with Dwayne Snyder with Equestrian Images. Dwayne, we've been together 8 years now. It's been a good ride, it really has. We've been associated professionally, and now we're friends. Got you down here on an extreme photo shoot in Daufuskie Island. Been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it has. It's been 8 years, but it's been a quick 8 years.
Well,
It hasn't been a long 8 years. It's been fun. You're right.
Dwayne, you and Daniela are two equestrian photos like Henry Ford is to vehicles. It's been a good ride with me, and y'all taught me a lot, and I feel like I've exposed y'all to some pretty extreme photo shoots. Dwayne, I got so many questions to ask you, but really, what does it take? I mean, photographing equine, and y'all are world-class photographers. What does it take? What's the biggest obstacle to really getting good quality equine photos?
A lot of times it's the lighting and setting up, like portraits, things like that. You'd be surprised. It's the simple little things like trying to get the horse's ears forward. And that can be the biggest challenge over anything, is to get those horses' ears forward. That's why you got to have some people like in the background making noises, and you're hollering and yelling, and they'll get numb to it real quick. I mean, it's like a 2-year-old. They only have a certain amount of attention span.
Right.
Attention span, and it's just, it'll make you crazy, but it is what it is, and you have to have fun with it.
Right.
Come up with new ways of getting their attention and go on from there. And then you got your lighting and how it's hitting and the angles you shoot.
That's been really intriguing to me. We, as usual, when horse tails comes to town, we have usually extreme weather conditions, and we've been out here for 2 days doing photo shoots, and it was cloudy yesterday, and you really taught me a lot with the lighting. So how critical is lighting to a quality photo?
If you're looking for silhouette, then you want your lighting behind you. And you can expose to a sense where everybody in your picture is silhouetted. And that would be shooting towards the sun, but not directly into the sun. And the majority of the time you don't want to do that. You want your sun at your back. A lot of times I look down which way you're shooting, I'll look at my shadow. I'm shooting this way. Wherever the shadow is, you got to try to find it. On an overcast day, kind of like what we have today, excuse me, the lighting's more even, but it flattens the colors. You'll lose a lot of color in it, but it's just all part of it. You've got to get what you can get in any situation. Sometimes I'll throw in a little fill flash here and there to just bring the colors out. It'll help them pop. But majority of the time, the weather conditions, you can't help it. It happens.
We did, yeah. We had to improvise yesterday. Well, the difference between a still photo and an action photo? I mean, you know, naturally still and action. Which do you prefer?
I like them both.
Okay.
I like them both. The still, you're not worried too much about the ears and things like that, trying to get them forward. So they're a lot of times it's easier. Because the action, I mean, the horse, a lot of times if their ears are back, they're paying attention to the rider sometimes. I mean, like yesterday, we had a lot of high winds. Man, did we have a lot of high winds. It felt like we were shooting in a hurricane or something, but the action itself, again, the biggest thing is the lighting and getting enough shutter speed to freeze that moment in time and trying to keep your aperture so you're not getting too much in focus. You mainly want the horse, you want things behind you just blending out, fogging out, so to speak, and it's all a challenge, but it's all fun.
Yeah.
And when we get into the extreme stuff, I mean, God, you get creative, and I know my wife throws her eyes a little bit.
Well, I can remember when we met, and she designed, your wife Daniela designed our website, and we met through the horses, and we went out and did our first extreme shoot.
Yeah.
And I don't think quite so. Do you do a lot of extreme shoots for other folks, or basically just somebody like myself that calls and say, hey, I got this gig going on, I want you to come down?
No, a lot of the times it's you.
Yeah.
I think it's just you. You get us into some things. I remember running through some briar, holding my camera up to protect my lens. I come out half shredded on that, but we got the shots. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I healed up.
Yeah.
We all do.
And we had, like I say, it seems like every time we get together some of these extreme photos, and I think we've all been a work in progress. We learned a lot, and yesterday, and we had the funniest thing. It stressed us, but it was funny after it happened. we were doing the water shots for what we're trying to put together for some future work. And half we come out of the water leading the horses, and some of the folks let the horses go, and some of them held on. So we actually chased horses down a major golf resort. So that was
well, they were heading towards the safe zone.
Okay.
As far as anybody knows.
Right.
But that was the best shot. Out of everything we tried, that was the best shot. The horses came out, and we got response, we got the action we needed from that, just from them coming out released like that. And that was our best. I know we tried working them, trying to hang on and things like that, but we did not get what they did for us. And I really don't want to mention too much. Like we did on that very first shot.
Right. Right.
And there might be other things we can use for what we're trying to accomplish with this, for the website, for you,
right,
for us, and because man, we're a team.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about props? Yesterday we had some guns out, you know, recreating some things. So for you as a professional photographer, and you do specialize in equine, how do you feel about props? Like we had, you know, scarves, some flags, and that type of thing. So does that add to make it easier for you, or a whole different challenge when you're trying to capture the moment?
It breaks it up. You can't do everything the same way every time. You're going to get boring.
Right.
So the props add to it, and it just makes you concentrate. It makes you more creative, and you're trying to get a shot, and you're trying to get that look that you want. And the props are fun. When we try to get something like, you know, like with the flags and stuff, you know, all of a sudden you don't think about it until you're out there doing it, and you see the angles and what's going on and who really needs to be where.
Right.
And
you've got proficient in sign language.
yeah, that's it. And it's some repetition, some redoing, but it makes you sharper.
Folks, this is a fitting in to two very special shows. I feel like some of the best shows that Horsetails has brought to you. And folks, like I've said many times, it's one of my goals to bring you a super informative and entertaining show, and we're going to travel wherever it takes to bring that to you. And this journey that I've been on in my life, the journey of the horse folks, is just humbling. And don't want to get too emotional right here, but it's been a special time for me. Daufuskie Island is an enchanting place, and I just feel so blessed to be a part of this. Yeah, I'm sure you've got some very informative things about the island. Learned a lot, I'm sure, about professional equine photography and some things we do. But folks, like I say, I'm surrounded by 6 of my finest Marsh Tackies that I have a privilege of owning. But folks, like I say, thank you for allowing us to bring you this show, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed putting it on for you. Folks, thank you once again, and until next week, keep your reins low and your hands quiet, and once again, may God bless this great country.